Do you think your stream would be different if you had joined OTV? Yes and no. Like, I think obviously I would never know, but I actually think, so John and I have talked about this because we're like, oh, what is like the value of joining OTV? And I actually think there is some crazy prestige that I like can't witness, but we think about that. John and I have talked about this. We're like, because we don't make money from OTV, but I'm like, but I do think that there's some sort of like having your name be out there so that people kind of know about you, or they're like more willing to click on your content because they see you and they're like, oh, I've seen this random shit on TV, like what about her streams or and whatnot. But I do think, like, I don't think it really grew my channel, but I think it helped me maintain my channel, which is perfect. You don't make money when you show up in OT videos or merch or for merch sales? No. Since you're already in the friend circle, it probably didn't do as much as if you hadn't been that close already, is my guess. Yeah. So honestly, I was like, well, when I was joining OTV, I was actually getting a couple other org options, like offers. And at the time they were, one of them was offering phenomenal money a month. I really, honestly, sometimes I think about the deals that I have said no to monetarily. And I just had this conversation with Sydney the other day. I can't remember why, but I was talking about the mixer deal that I said no to. And I'm like, am I stupid? Am I stupid? Millions of dollars that I was actually upset with myself because I was like, at the time, well, okay. Let me start off. Okay, like I do think I am stupid, but also I think it's really great that, okay, let me word this so that I'm eloquent here. There have been moments in my career where I have denied money. It's never like, or okay, don't get me wrong, $2 million is a lot of money. That was my biggest deal, literally ever. And same with like orgs that I've said no to joining, because I guess at the end of the day, past Jodi really cared about just like authentically making good, meaningful content. Present Jodi does care, but also has more of a fear for her future and is like, you dumbass idiot bitch. And I think that I was young, so I was able to be like, is this the right move for me? And at the time I'll be like, no. But also I can't even be mad about it because I do, like, I feel great. Okay, so basically Mixer, when I think about Mixer, if I went to Mixer, I would have ended my career. I think I would have not been relevant. I would have never been able to come back to Twitch. I would have never built this community that I have and quite literally love. I know that it would have been career suicide, which is why I said no. And it wasn't about the money at the time. It's not even about the money now. It was actually just like, oh, I literally love Twitch. I love Twitch. I love what I have here. I love my community. I love the content that I'm able to make. Like, I just really loved it. And so I was like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it didn't equate monetarily to that value. And I knew that if I went to Mixer, it would be career suicide because I wasn't Shroud and I wasn't Ninja, like, who can just, you know, they've made it. So yeah. Sometimes I do worry, but then I remember, hey Jodi, everything will work out. At the end of the day, universe got my back. And even if it doesn't, I do really trust in my ability to always take care of myself no matter what happens. I think I'll be okay. But yeah, though, in all honesty, getting a check signed and deposited isn't necessarily worth it in the long run, because then at what point does it become a chore versus enjoyment quality of life? Yeah. And I just think that I'm really grateful because I think if I didn't have stability through sponsors, I would never have been, like, at that moment in my career, like, sponsors were still flowing in. So I never had to worry about long-term stability, or at least it felt like I didn't have to worry about long-term stability, because generally speaking, anybody that would be given that offer is going to say yes, especially, like, that's a really hard number to say no to. But because I had the financial stability, I had the privilege to say no to that, and that is insane, and something that I am really grateful for, because that's insane. That is an insane opportunity. But yeah, anyways, so then OTV comes, and I'm also getting I think I got 2 other org offers. But yes, they were offering money, but I said no to them because I wanted to be part of OTV. I was like, okay, great, what am I doing with this org? Am I making meaningful content? Hey, no hate on org content, but they feel a little, you know, it's a little stiff maybe. It's more esports rather than, like, you know what I mean? So I wanted to join an org where I was like, oh, I know these people. I think we will make fun, meaningful content that I would look back on in years to come and be like, oh, I'm so glad I was a part of this thing. And that meant more to me, honestly. And nowadays, orgs are barely signing content creators. If they are, they don't really do content. Yeah, like, I'm glad. I'm grateful for the decision. And honestly, my mom told me this growing up, and I didn't really like, it didn't solidify with how important it was. But basically, my mom was like, Jodi, just make sure you have options in life. Options are the most valuable thing that you can have. And it's something that I didn't have growing up. And I hope that you are able to navigate a life where you get options.
Honestly,
And
I sometimes get surprised.
Agree. Love the story of how neither of you wanted to join the OTV house unless Sean can come with. Well, because that would be terrible. So basically, me, Sean, John, and Sydney were living together, and they asked us to join OTV, and they were like about the OTV house, and I was like, well, I have this roommate agreement with Sean, and if all three of us just leave, then Sean's just by himself. Like, I can't do that. So if we could figure out a way to make this all work, like, I'm down. I've been reading a book about an artist's life, and I will say the content you make is more valuable than money, so you did make the right decision. But damn, that's... Yeah, no, I think about that. I do think about that. But then I do, it's like this, like, okay, I do think that saying of like, oh, money isn't everything, but you're only able to fucking say that if you have a stable income, because that statement has nuance, because money is something. You do need money to fucking survive right now, especially. So all of this comes with nuance, where it's like, when I say that I'm so grateful that I was able to decline a mixer deal because of the money that I was making. And it wasn't crazy money. I don't make insane money, but I make a stable income, and that was enough for me. But like I said, there are some days where I think back on that and be like, it's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And you can generally be set for life if you like invest it well. But maybe that's not the point. I also am like, I don't even know what the fuck I'd be doing if I didn't have a job, or like, you know, like I genuinely love my job. I genuinely love streaming. So I think that there is a passion within that, and that I do love. Could also work the opposite way, since Ray went to YouTube and grew and got the contract money, although YouTube is different from Mixer. This is so different. One, Ray is fucking Valkyrae. She's that bitch, okay? And she moves to YouTube. Also way fucking different. You've already built a community on YouTube as a streamer. Maybe it's not like your core community, but you already have. Who the fuck was watching Mixer? Okay, so no, that is like YouTube deals. Everybody wants that, okay? But thoughts on Facebook deals though? That seemed also miserable. But you can do it if you're disguised toast, because you are that bitch. You know? Well, Mixer died. So that's the thing. This is the other thing. So Mixer deals ended early because Mixer failed. So Ninja just made $30 fucking million, and then not even in the whole contract, left and went back to Twitch. I don't know how much Ninja made. So it was a free bag for the people who took the Mixer deals. Mixer closed and Shroud bought a mansion, as he should. As he fucking should. Didn't Facebook lower Toast's numbers? Yeah, but Toast is still incredibly relevant. Like, that's Toast. When I heard of Mixer, I thought it was some type of music app. To be fair, that is kind of what it sounds like. They got the best of both worlds, but there was no telling what would happen when they signed. Yeah, no, literally.